ladies and gents, welcome back. You join me at Bluewater on a Scania today. It's been a while since I'm posted. In simple terms, I couldn't be bothered to make a video. Nor did I get really a lot of stand time to be able to make a video. But a bit's been happened, so I've been on the 422s for a bit. Lovely route, nice and quiet. That route, like hardly anyone uses that route. Everyone just uses like the 486, 472 and all that. They don't really use the 422. Like there's one point, I think 2 nights ago when I was on it, 3 nights ago, from Woolwich to North Greenwich I had nobody, absolutely nobody, just me. And the night before was the same but in reverse. So from Bexley Heath to Woolwich I had nobody, so it was lovely. But I'm back on the 96 for 3 days now, so today Monday, tomorrow Tuesday and Wednesday. And then I'm off for 2 weeks for my holiday. Put a couple of loo days in there to extend it a bit, so I've got a bit of a longer holiday this time around. But looking forward to that. It's going to be nice to have a bit of a break. Might do 1 or 2 days of overtime. Kind of really depends, to be honest, how I'm feeling. And then we've got 15 minutes. I was 5 early getting into Bluewater today. There's no traffic, so I go back to Woolwich and then I come off at the garage, and then I come back on at 3 o'clock, right when the schools come out. So not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to that at all. Right when the schools come out, but hey, someone's got to do it. But it's not bad duty today. Got one rounder, and then 1.5 in the second half, and I run dead from Bluewater. So it's a really good duty, to be fair. I come off at just after 8 o'clock today, so it's not actually too bad of a duty. But yeah, as you can see, that we're in the beautiful Scania today, so should be good. She's a good drive. She's good. She's a good drive. But yeah. I got the one with the crappy mirrors. I got the small one on the near side, so I'm not too happy about that. It's a bloody nightmare trying to see out that thing. You're trying to get close to the curb. Hold on, this guy's reversing. Let me just quickly make sure he don't hit me. Okay, we're good. Didn't die. But yeah, so on duty 0229. So first we've got a round at the first half. Come off my break. 13:59 till 1500. So 1 hour 1 minute. And then we do 1.5 rounders. So that's 2.5 trips. So that's not too bad. And then run dead from Bluewater. Happy days, and come off at 8 o'clock. Happy days. But yeah, so I'm on the 96, 3 days, then off for 2 weeks. I might do a bit of overtime. I might call and see if they got anything, but I don't know. I kind of just want to relax. You know, it's my summer break, 2 weeks, just doing nothing. You know, or going out and stuff like that. But yeah, the 422s, I love them. Like, they're definitely a real contender for me. Is like my favourite routes between the 96 and the 422, and it does largely come down to the fact that there's more variety of buses to drive. Like on the 177s, you mainly drive the Volvos with a few Enviro 400s and very rarely an MMC. But at least on these routes, you know, you can have a diesel, you could have, you know, like Enviro 400 diesel, you could have Enviro 400 hybrid, you could have Enviro 400 MMC. You know, if you're on the 96, you can also have a Scania added onto that. You know, like there's a lot more variety, so it makes it more interesting and more fun. You know, you get to drive different buses. You know, whereas 177, it's mainly the Volvos, because the 177s were retained, you know, and they bought Volvos to go on that route. You know, so the Volvos are here. We have the Volvos because of the 177s. They were made for them. Not made for them, but like they were, you know, they were bought to use on that route. So, yeah. But yeah, so I'm not enjoying being on middles. Been on middles for so long now. I hate middles. I really hate middles. You know what I mean? Like, middles just drive me up the wall. Middles really do drive me up the wall. My iBus system's not working on this bus. Like, if you look, so I don't know if you can see that there. So sorry about that, guys. My video cut out for some reason. But yeah, if you can see there, it's not showing the time or saying bus terminates here or anything. It's same upstairs. So obviously I've got to use the PA system, like, you know, with the tannoy, to speak to my passengers. Ain't that bad. So I've got 10 minutes. Oh, lovely. See, it's the beauty, like, and that's the thing. I was saying the thing about the 422 as well. The running time is just right. Like, you pretty much don't even have to hold, like, especially if you're coming off for your break or coming off to finish, and you got to obviously do a changeover. You actually don't have to worry about, like, you're, like, running early or anything. Well, actually, yeah, running early, but, like, when there's, you know, normal levels of traffic, you ain't got to worry about a thing. Like, your running time is pretty much on the money every time. It's very rare that you would have to, you know, so I'm zoning out, I'm looking at buses. But yeah, it's very rare that you would have to hold back to, like, lose your time. Whereas on the 177, because they give you so much running time in Greenwich because of the traffic, on a good day, you've got all that extra time that you're now, and that's now being wasted, like, you know, where you could be making progress along the route. You've got to hold, because obviously they put extra time in there because, you know, obviously the traffic, and obviously rightly so. But on a good day when there's no traffic, you've now got to sit there for like 7 minutes. Like, you've got to, like, kill like 7 minutes, because obviously you can't get to you know, the changeover early. I mean, obviously like, I'd say 5 minutes early max. I mean, they do say 4 to 5 minutes early for a changeover. You know, I think that's fair. So, but I don't make the duties. I don't decide the running time. That's down to the higher ups. I just drive the bus. That's my job. You know, apparently I'm not allowed to have, you know, I'm not allowed to have, like, a mind. I just need to drive the bus. Because it happened to me, like, the other day on Saturday when I was on the 96. There was a child, so it was a minor, so under 18, who didn't have any money, who asked if I stopped at the Brent, which is in Dartford. Now, we don't, but I stopped there to let her off purely because I was concerned about the welfare of the child. Now, bus drivers, you know, as much as we don't want to admit, we have a duty of care to every slide. You know, sometimes we just don't care, you know, but, like, we do actually have a duty of care for every passenger and, you know, just people in general, you know. People see buses as a safe space. You know, people see the bus driver as a friendly face, you know, and I think we are. You know, yeah, you get the odd grumpy one who just, you know, just wants to fight everyone, but that's a minority. Like, yeah, sometimes I can be, like, a real arse, but when you take abuse all day, it you know, you kind of just, it puts you in a mood. But we are friendly, approachable people, and we have a duty of care for our passengers and vulnerable people. And, you know, because she was a minor, I was concerned about her welfare, because she would have had to wait for a 492. And what if that 492 bus driver wasn't as kind as I was? He could have said, nah, sorry, you got to pay or you don't get on. So she's now going to be stuck here for, like, you know, waiting another half hour for 492, because that's how long they take. You know, because I live on a road where the only bus is the 492, and after 8 o'clock it's one every hour. It's a bloody joke of a route. So, you know, what if the next bus driver comes along and is like, nope. So now she's stuck. And Blue Oar, it was at Blue Oar, so Blue Oar is isolated. It's an isolated place. It's like the city centre is not within walking distance. No chance. I can't tell her to walk. That's not fair. So I had a duty of care, so I let her off. And this old woman come up to me and was like, you know, well, so you stop here now? I was like, no, I made an exception for the child. And she was like, oh, do you now? And I was like, one, what's it got to do with you? And do you know what the worst part about it, or the best part about it? She got off at Bexley Heath. So it didn't affect her at all. You know, at the end of the day, I made a call. In the heat of the moment, I had to make a judgment whether, you know, her welfare was, you know, a concern, and I deemed that her welfare was a concern. So I had to do the morally right thing and stop at a bus stop that I don't serve. Because as you know, Arriva own those bus stops. So we're not allowed to stop there because TfL don't govern the bus stops. That's down to Arriva. They own the bus stops. But I made a call, and I was like, I've got, because I was concerned about her welfare. She's a child. As much as as a bus driver, children annoy the hell out of me. They scream, and they do all sorts. They vandalise. They leave litter. They bring on stinky food. School kids. That's all I have to say about school kids. You know how I feel about school kids. But as much as they annoy me, they're still children, and we have to look after them. We have a duty of care as bus drivers to make sure that every person who gets on our bus gets home safely, gets to their destination safely. Whether we want to admit it or not, that's the way it is. Because if they get injured, if they get injured, it's just one of them things. Sorry about that. Driver was heckling me. Wanted a word. Wanted me to do some overtime. Had to say no, unfortunately. Got things planned. Anyway, but yeah, so they're still children, and we have a duty of care to protect our children. And I wanted to say to that woman, what if it was your daughter or granddaughter that I refused? How would you feel? You wouldn't like it. You'd be banging on my door, being like, "What the are you doing?" She's a child. Look after her, protect her, all that stuff. So, I may get pulled in for it and be told off, but I reckon even Arriva would agree that morally you did the right thing, but just make sure next time, you have to tell her that, they'd let me off. Because at the end of the day, it's a child. As much as we don't admit, we have a duty of care. We have to look after the kids. As much as they annoy us and abuse us, got a duty of care. So I had to make the right call. And I don't care if that woman didn't like it. She wants to make a complaint, that's down to her. But I hate when people poke their nose into business that's got nothing to do with them. I even said to her, she's a kid. She's she had no money. She's vulnerable. Yeah, she's like, she just gave me as if it doesn't matter. Because again, if it was her daughter or granddaughter, she'd be the first one to come up to me and give me abuse. But anyway, I've got about 2 minutes, so I'm going to end it here, and I'll see you hopefully at the other end. Take care. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Got my hair. What's wrong with my hair? You join me at Woolwich, the other side. Trip after the last little video there. We've got about 15 minutes, so we were a bit early again. So that's what I love about the 96. The running time's good. Running time's pretty good. But yeah, so it's the only annoying thing now is I've got to wait 15 minutes to leave to be able to come off from my break. It's the only downside. If you get here early, you end up having to wait so long to then come off for your break. It's the downside of it. Yeah, we weren't a bad trip. Standard on the 96 really. Struggling with these bloody mirrors. I hate getting the buses with the small mirrors. I really do. I don't get why they don't upgrade all of them, because they've upgraded some of them, like to have the normal size mirrors. Like this one, I've got the small mirrors on the near side, and then on the off side, we've got the normal size mirror that we have. So I don't get why they don't just replace, the mirror, because I don't really think it'll be costly. In terms of man hours, it won't be. I mean, they pop an arm off and pop a new one back on within 5 minutes. So it's not like it's a hard job to do. But I ain't an engineer, so it's not my department. I just drive a bus. I have no brain. I just drive a bus because that's all I do, apparently, according to that woman from the other day. Anyway, there's some nice people on today so far. I just hate they've put my short half first. Let me do my long half, and then I can go home after an easy, second half. I hate it. But when you get that duty where it's flipped over and you got your short half second, oh, it's lovely. Just a rounder to Bluewater and back, oh, it's lovely. Nice and quick. Yeah, apart from that, nothing else has really happened since I last did a video. Just I learnt the 472s, learnt the 422s. To be fair, that was a good day. Route learning is good. Route learning is fun. You know, because it's just a bus to yourself with the other people who are learning the route, as well as the mentor for that route, or like just a mentor in general. So that's all it was. Because that's how they do it now. They don't get you to go on a service bus. I mean, you can do it in your own time if you want to go on a service bus. But on the day that you're meant to do the route learning, the day you get paid for, what they do now is you take an empty bus from the garage, just be a group of you, depending on how many are doing it on that day, or booked to do it on that day. It might be 2 people, like we had. I think we had like 4 or 5 people on the 422s. And you just take a bus out. You each get a little drive. Yeah, you should all get a drive, but you don't have to drive. But they do try and get you to drive, because it is one of them days where you're like, it's easy money. I just don't really want to drive. I just want to relax. You know, that's kind of how it was. I did a bit of driving. I did a bit of driving from Woolwich to Charlton Village, and that's how much I drove. Actually, no, I did Woolwich to North Greenwich. Sorry. Yeah, easy. It's easy route. Easy. 42 is so easy. The only bit that you can get confused on is the once you turn right past the box junction, that little section does throw a few people off, because what you do is you go down past Bexley Station all the way down to the end to come to a mini roundabout. You go straight over, come to the end of the road, you turn right, go all the way down, you've got to turn left, you've got a big roundabout by just Belvedere. Then you turn left, first exit. You know, so it's a lot of like lefts and rights and stuff, so you do have to kind of pay attention, because obviously if it's pitch black or it's foggy and you don't know the route off like the back of your hand, you'll get lost. Easily get lost. It's an easy one to get lost at. But it's part of the fun. We've got 9 minutes. But yeah, so I think I've got another Scania for my second half, so I'm on a Scania all day, so I ain't complaining. It's not a bad, I ain't complaining about Scania. Scania's alright. A lot of them don't like it because it's like a, just constantly goes, like the air is just trying to like balance the bus, because obviously if you're up a hill, what the bus will do is it will drop the front forward to make it level, or it'll bring the back up to make it level. Do you know what I mean? So it plays around with the air release, because obviously you've got big air tanks on the bottom of the bus, and it kind of it acts like a weight to balance the bus out. Obviously, all you bus nerds that subscribe to this channel know about all this stuff more than I do, you know. But on that day when we were doing route learning on the 422, we parked up at the stand on Woolwich Road, which is the official stand for the 422s. It's a residential bit. You're not allowed to park there before 7 AM and after 7 PM, because some angry guy got very annoyed at a bus driver who kept his engine on. So he complained to TfL. So between 7 AM and 7 PM we can park there. Out of those times we have to park in the little area where the B15s, B14s and all that park in. It does become a nightmare trying to get a space there, because you know, they are arseholes up there. Some of them are nice, but you know, a lot of them aren't so kind to Stagecoach. They see it as like them invading their area. You know, like, oh, it's a Stagecoach. Like, what's he doing here? Quite poncy about it, but I'm just like, look, mate, I just drive a bus. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just drive a bus, bro. That's all I do all day. Just leave me alone. But we obviously stopped for like a break, so we stopped for lunch, and I went to McDonald's to get a milkshake, because obviously it was quite a hot day. So I was like, oh, milkshake sounds nice. So I was walking back, I saw 96 broke down just before the right-hand turn to go into Bexley Heath shopping centre, like where the buses all go. So I was like, oh, what's going on here? So I was like, what's going on, mate? And he's like, I'm leaking water. And I was like, I had a look, and I was like, yeah, he's dripping bad. And so obviously I helped him out. While he tried to see what the problem was, obviously I was talking to the controller, just telling him where it was and what to do. And obviously he said, just go around where all the 269s park and everything like that. Just park it in there, and an engineer will will come and assess the problem. So that was interesting. You know, a fellow bus driver helping out another bus driver. That's what it should be about. You know, at the end of the day, we all do the same job. We just work for different companies. You know, we shouldn't be like at war with each other, so to speak. You know, we should all be trying to help each other out. That's why I tend to always wave at all the bus drivers. Doesn't matter what company they work for. Because at the end of the day, it's about having a bit of respect for each other. You know, it is about respect. You know, we all do the same job. You know, regardless, you know, what route we do, we all do the same job. The difference is you know, the colour shirt we wear or the colour top we wear. You know, we just work for a different company. That's the only thing that divides us is our logo for the company. You know, we should all be like, you know, helping each other out, not be. I mean, like friendly competition. Obviously, we need competition in business. It is a business at the end of the day. But in terms of, you know, the drivers, they should all be friendly to each other, all try to help each other out. Don't be like stingy about it to each other. Because I just see so many drivers go at each other, like go at each other's throats. And I'm like, why? Like, yeah, the driver shouldn't have cut you up like that, or whatever. But like, you know, just move on. You know, because that's how that's how the reputation of bus drivers is ruined. Because you see videos on YouTube, like bus drivers gone wild, bus drivers fighting each other, like, against each other. You know, bus driver breakdowns and. Like, you gotta be careful. You know, you have got to be careful. Check I've done this. So I'm just checking my BCR card because I will forget. Oh yeah, I need to write that down. Yeah. How long we got? 5 minutes. I'll end it here. Because I've been rambling on for so long. So I'll probably do one more of these, either at Blue Water or Woolwich. I'll do one more just to length out the video a bit more. But yeah, so it's just another day on the 96 for me. You know, it's a good day. Yesterday I was in such a bad mood because I was on the 177s. And it was just one of those days where you just felt like everyone was just trying to piss you off. And it was just one of them days, especially on the 177s. It's just, I can't stand the route. I can't stand it because I mean I had to put up with it for, you know, a good, you know, like 4 or 5 months. I hated it, but I had to get on with it because it was the only route I could do. At least now I get a choice. You know, I've got multiple routes I can do, which means it's easier to swap with drivers, you know, those duties I don't want. So if I've got a 177 duty I don't want and I know a driver say got a 96 job that I want to do, I can go, hey, do you want to swap? You know, and that's how it works, which is nice. But yes, I'll leave it here. We've got to get set up and ready to go. So I'll speak to you in a little while, my second half. Take care. Welcome back, ladies and gents. As you can probably tell, I lied. Thought it was a Scania. It's not. It's an old-fashioned Enviro 400 diesel. But it's got an interesting. It's got something interesting in it. Let's see if we can see it. Can you see it? Right there. Yeah. There. Yeah. Get a little closer up. Yeah, right there. That little thing. Where's my finger? There. Never seen one of them before in a bus. I know what it is. It's a tachograph machine. What's it doing in one of our buses? So that's an interesting feature of this bus. Just done my first trip. Screwed up my green road today, so not great. Doing so well. Got nothing on the Scania. No safety events on the Scania. As soon as I get in one of these, corner. Hit a corner too fast because I was trying to beat a car. Round the roundabout. And I took it a bit too fast. That's what happens when you rush, ladies and gents. You make mistakes. You make stupid errors. There you go. It is what it is. Yeah. She's a nice bus to drive. I always call them a good old-fashioned diesel. Because that's what they are. A good old-fashioned diesel. What time are we due out here? Time is now 16:18. Due out at 16:29. So we were due to get here at 16:17. I got here at 16:14. So not too bad for, you know, school run and stuff. So we've got over 10 minutes, which is alright. But yeah, so not too bad. But yeah, so I haven't really got much to talk about. So I'll see you when I get back to Woolwich. Take care. Welcome back, ladies and gents. Join me at Woolwich. Early again. Got 20 minutes, right? I was meant to get here at, where are we, 17:50. I got here at 17:42. I'm not due back out till 18:04. So I've got one more trip to do, then I run dead from Bluewater to the garage and finish my shift. Yeah, I set off my green road again, so I've set it off twice today. I'm pissed. It's got to slow down, you know, like, I've got to remember, like, that's what I've always said to myself. I'm very good at dishing out really good advice, but I'm shit at following my own advice. I always say, take your time, like, you get paid to drive safe. And there's me going around corners too quick. That's the problem with this job. It's when you get your confidence in terms of driving, you know, like when you know exactly where you are on the road without having to look at your mirrors, you know the exact width of every vehicle, the height, everything. Once you like have basically fully mastered every vehicle over, you know, from driving it for so long, you get really cocky and really confident, and it can bite you in the arse and you set your green road off. But it is what it is. At least it's only been like one incident per trip, which is good. It's a good sign. That's the thing about these old diesel buses, especially with the brakes. They like to get it to a full stop. You really do have to put your foot on it. It's not like the hybrids where you just take your foot off the accelerator and it just pretty much comes to a complete. Well, like it pretty much comes down to 5 miles an hour without you having even to touch the brakes. Do you know what I mean? The old diesels, you got to do it the old-fashioned way. You know, you got to use your foot. But, you know, it's a learning curve. I just got to learn. You know, as I get older and I do this job for longer, I'll start to get to a point where I stop, you know, really, like, done. Bus in front, getting ready to go. So I'll just quickly move the bus forward and I'll speak to you in a sec. Right, back. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm cocky. Yeah, I am. When you get your confidence in this job, you know, it can bite you. You know, you got to just try and ground yourself and just be like, bring you back down to reality, being like, yeah, you're good, but you can always learn. You know, there's always room to learn. Like the spares are good. You know, because you do a lot of different routes. You know, so you get a nice variety. But obviously, you do have to go on a rotor eventually. Like once your probation's up, they put you on a main rotor, and that's the only route you do. But obviously, like what Double Decker Anton does, he swaps his shifts around like with a lot of other drivers to get a bit of a mixture. So, you know, and that's the thing, you're allowed to do that because at the end of the day, it's an agreement between two drivers. Management don't have to go anywhere near the situation. It's just two drivers who are making an agreement. So the manager doesn't have to get involved. He doesn't have to be approved by a manager or anything. So, of course, we watch. I've done 4 hours, 42 minutes, and 32 seconds of driving. So that's what Plumstead to Bluewater. Actually, let me just get my duty. Let's have a look. So that's what Plumstead to Bluewater, Bluewater to Plumstead. Where are we? Woolwich to the garage. So that's 5. Yes, that's 5 trips. 4 hours, 5 trips. Not bad. Like compared to like the 177s, you know, it's probably he's going now. That's probably like half the trips. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad to be honest, but it is what it is really, isn't it? Driver's stuck. I can see him. He got stuck. That's why you don't park so close if you're going to overtake like that. You know, that's a 380. So he got terminated. Lewisham. That's where he's going. He obviously got turned at Woolwich. See, I've never been turned at Woolwich. Now, obviously, it's an easy curtailment. I mean, all curtailments are easy. It's a bit of common sense. So if this is your last bus stop, you need to somehow get on the other side of the road. And obviously, if there's a roundabout in front of you, common sense really, and it will tell you to circumnavigate the roundabout. You know, there's not a lot of hard curtailments. Like I haven't had one single hard. There's no hard curtailment at all. You know, like on the 96, they're all straightforward. Like, trying to think. So we start at Woolwich. So the first one would be Welling. First one would be Welling. You could say technically Plumstead Bus Garage, but you're not going to go from Woolwich to Plumstead to come back. It don't make sense. So the first proper one would be Woolwich. So obviously if you're coming from Wickham Lane, last bus stop would be the bus stop just before the bridge. Bus stop before the bridge, turn left, and then the stands on the corner. You know, like, so it's common sense. I mean, you get taught all this on route learning anyway, so it's not necessarily, you know, like, go out there and just kind of see what happens. You know, you get taught all of it anyway, but a lot of it's common sense. They could tell you at Woolwich, well, your last stop is going to be Plumstead Market, yeah? So that's your last official stop, right? So you've got to get back in the other direction, going towards Bluewater, right? So there's loads of bus stands all around Woolwich. Just pick a bus stand, stand there, wait for your time, go round, and your first bus stop has to be Woolwich Arsenal Station. That's your first bus stop. So you could either come here, so where I am now at the Sainsbury's, you could stand here, come all the way around, stand here, then go, yeah? Or you can stand on Beresford Street, which is like where the 301s, sorry, not 3As, 301s, 99s, all of that, where they stand, go all the way round, and you could, instead of coming down Castile Road, which is where we are, because you'll have to serve, obviously you don't want to serve that bus stop, you could go all the way up down John Wilson Street, turn left, go down to where the bus stop for the Woolwich Centre is. That way you cut out that first bus stop because you're not meant to serve it because you're being... I mean, but they don't normally make you stand. Normally they use Woolwich as a place where they go, right, so show Woolwich, then run dead to the garage and start from there or something. Like if you're late for your relief, they might say, well, yeah, if you're late for your relief, that don't make sense. See, like obviously with the 96s, it don't, because you start in Woolwich, so they're not going to obviously, it don't make sense. But like they may say to you, like if you're at Woolwich, you just got to Woolwich, they may say leave straight away and run lights to the garage to change over. So they'll basically say they're going to cut your service to the garage. So obviously on your duty card, on your duty log card, if you remember when I showed you, in the journey lost, you'd put Woolwich to PD. Yeah. So you've lost Woolwich to Plumstead. Obviously that's nothing. That's nothing. Mileage that's not really like a lot. It's what isn't a lot of mileage. But you get what I'm saying. Was another 96th coming. But yeah, so I've been watching Mike's videos. That's what I've been doing in my spare time. You know, when I wake up, I see he's uploaded, get me cereal, pop him on the TV, you know, watch him, you know, rant and rave about things, you know, as all bus drivers do. All bus drivers love to have a rant or, you know, just chatter. You may not think we're chatty people, but we are. But yes, it's not been too bad today. Can't complain, I'm on the 96, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to end the video here because I've been rambling for probably what feels like 20 minutes across like multiple segments, so I'll leave it there. Don't want to bore you anymore. But yeah, so obviously please leave a like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you get notified when I upload. If you have any questions as usual, please leave them in the comments. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.